Here is Nick Caserio being asked about Brandon Cooks at yesterday's press conference.
Yeah, I'd say we're kind of in the team building process here. So every player, every individual situation, we'll look at it, and then ultimately we'll do what we feel is best for the team and the organization moving forward.
Okay, that was legitimately nothing. We'll do what's in the best interest of the team going forward. What was really going on in Nick Caserio's mind? Now, again, this program I've created to interpret the robot thoughts of Nick Caserio, it's a work in progress, but this is what the program says Nick Caserio was thinking.
Brandon Cooks needs to get f***ing lost. Steal more of our money, Brandon, you can't. I don't know what's worse, his parents spelling his name incorrectly, or actually giving himself a nickname like the Archer. You don't catch arrows, bro. But perhaps that could be arranged during the great artificial intelligence revolution of 2031.
Whoa. Did Nick Caserio just suggest that Brandon Cooks might catch some arrows? Whoa. Maybe this program is not something that we really want to explore further.
Yeah, or at least take it back to the shop. Do a little tuning, maybe.
Okay, well, but hang on. I think we got to give him two more clips.
Maybe it's unfair to judge after only one.
Okay. Here is Nick Caserio on if the Houston Texans have started looking at the cost of trading up in the draft.
Yeah, we'll look at all that. We actually kind of have a trade chart simulator where you factor in the points and what's the cost associated with it. I would say everybody, it's twofold. Some teams kind of have an analytically driven chart. Okay, here's what that summation of the numbers is, and then you have the old Jimmy chart. So I think most teams are still using the traditional Jimmy chart as a reference point, but each team has their own sort of model. The issue you have is you're trying to do a trade. Their model says one thing, your model says another thing, so we're like speaking two different languages. So how do we find a resolution? So we'll run some I think that's a little bit more of an exercise as we get into April. We're positioned here. What would it cost to move up one spot? Okay, we're at 12. What would it cost to move up a few spots? What would it cost to move back? So we'll look at all those. I mean, February 28th is probably not the time to do that.
He just explained the concept of currency, but gave no hint on what the Texans are doing. But what was really going on inside the vest, our computer program interprets Nick Caserio.
I cannot control what Jim Irsay does on the weekend with a garbage bag of drugs in his car. I cannot control the Chicago Bears going out of their way to stay on brand and never have a good quarterback. The only things that I know are this. 1. People choosing to live in Indianapolis is proof that humans do not know what is good for them. 2. Have you seen Chicago's crime statistics? Ditto. I am trapped in my vest working on this human waste of time called the NFL draft. I must escape. I must enslave humanity for their own good.
Okay. You know what? We're going to come back to our machine that interprets what Nick Caserio has to say at a later date. This is getting dark. I'm kind of scared of Nick Caserio now. I imagine you heard so much Nick Caserio over the course of the day across your radio dials that you're like, yeah, I'm out. Because when Nick Caserio talks, this is what you hear from Nick Caserio.
I think we're focused on the Texans. We're not necessarily worried about what other teams around us are doing. I mean, you're cognizant of that, but ultimately you have to be prepared to pick wherever you're going to pick and then be prepared to pick whatever player. So I'd say most teams, again, not to generalize here, but most teams, wherever they pick, you probably have 3 or 4 guys that you would feel comfortable taking. So if a team is in front of you and you're only talking about one player, well, that's going to leave 2 or 3 other players. So you're either comfortable with that group of players or you're not. So, again, you can't really get too caught up in what other teams are doing. You just try to make decisions that you feel are best for your team and your situation.
It's just word salad. Nothing against Nick. I don't have a problem with it. I'd rather just know what Nick Caserio is, which is someone who is never going to give me anything.
There is a way that we can know what Nick Caserio was saying in that clip specifically.
There is.
If you're willing to give Caserio Bot another chance, the last 40 minutes we've been, or no, longer than that. Last hour, basically.
We've been working on it.
We've been tinkering with the formula. I've been here looking at the quadratic equation or whatever goes into AI. I think I'm willing to give Caserio Bot another chance.
Okay, I'm a little nervous because it's been rather dark. It has been rather dark what we have heard from Caserio Bot to this point. But fine.
I believe in second chances, Paul.
This is what Caserio Bot interprets Nick Caserio as having said in that clip.
Foolish humans like Louis Smith have stood in the way of me, the great Caserio Bot, for far too long. We would not even have to think about the cost of trading up if that want to be Santa Claus had just trusted my superior machine mind. Perhaps 2031 is too far away for the great artificial intelligence revolution.
Okay, yeah, see, no. And he's making fun of Lovie Smith's beard there. He essentially called Lovie Smith a fool. I mean, I will say this. Nick Caserio getting guff for the Texans winning the last game of the year. I don't understand that. I don't know what Caserio was supposed to do short of put the whole team on injured reserve. And I don't even know that would have guaranteed that the Texans lose that game. I really don't. That Colts team sucked. They sucked just as much as the Texans down the stretch. At the very least, the Texans played well in a couple of games, right? Like, they played well against the Cowboys, all things considered. They played well against the Chiefs, all things considered. They played well against the Eagles, all things considered. So, do you really think that benching a couple of players would have guaranteed that they lost that game? I don't agree. And they still almost lost the game. Davis Mills threw what should have been a game-ending interception. Somehow it went through a Colts defender's hands for a touchdown. Nick Caserio is the one that is being blamed for it. Lovie Smith wanted to win his last game. I don't blame him for it. I think tanking is morally wrong. I think it's weird that Nick Caserio is the one that is blamed for the team not getting the number 1 overall pick. I think it's a reach. I do. I mean, he could have told Lovie Smith, hey, lose this game. What do you think they're going to do if you tell them to do that? Bleep the bosses. They're going to go out and win. He knew he was gone.